Most solopreneurs hire someone to escape the chaos, and within 90 days, that person is gone. The chaos is back, and now you're doing their job on top of yours. Again, here's the part nobody talks about. That's not a hiring issue, that's a systems problem. And the reason it keeps happening, the reason smart, capable people keep making this mistake is because they're trying something new that has no documentation, no structure, and no defined outputs. You can't delegate a process that only exists in your head. So today I'm going to show you exactly how to fix that. 3 steps, a specific outcome at the end, and a framework you can start applying this week. So let's get into that. Here's the standard narrative you'll hear about solopreneurs hiring. Hire too late, scramble to onboard, new hire can't keep up, failure. That's the surface level story though, and it's mostly wrong. The actual failure point happens way earlier, before the hire ever walks in the door. It happens the moment you decide to delegate a job that doesn't exist, at least not in a transferable form. Think about what you're actually handing over to someone when you hire them. A job title, maybe a list of responsibilities, and a bunch of logins. And then you expect them to run a process that took you 3 years to build, intuitively in your head, with none of that context. That's not onboarding, that's guesswork with a salary attached to it, actually. Businesses that scale without chaos, the ones that hand off work cleanly, keep quality high and don't collapse every time someone leaves, they don't do it because they hire better people. They do it because they build systems before they build a team. We can call it a franchise OS model for the sake of argument. And it starts with 3 steps that most solopreneurs skip completely. Step 1, map the load. Step 2, extract the code. Step 3, standardize the output. Do those things in order and you'll be ready to hire. Skip any of them and you're setting up your next hire to fail before they even start. So let's run through each one of them. Step 1 is the analysis or audit. Before you delegate anything, you need a complete inventory of every task that runs through you at this point in time. Not the tasks you think you do, every task you actually do. So here's the protocol for that. Take a full work week and log every task that hits your desk. Timestamp it, note the duration, note the frequency. Is it daily, weekly, monthly? And note the outcome. What does done look like for this task? And at the end of that week, you sort everything into 3 buckets. Bucket 1, high skill, high judgment. These are the tasks that require your expertise and you to make the final decision. That's CEO level work. This stays with you for now. Bucket 2, repeatable, low judgment. These are your first candidates for delegation. Tasks that follow a consistent pattern, have a clear output and don't require your personal decision making to execute them. Client invoicing, social scheduling, inbox cleanup. These are the tasks you should be handing over first. And bucket 3, repeatable, high judgment. These are tasks that happen regularly but still require trained thinking. These aren't ready to delegate yet, but they will be once you've done step 2. Now here's the question that cuts through all the noise when you're doing this audit. If I disappeared for 2 weeks, what breaks first? Whatever breaks first, that's your priority for delegating. Not because it's easiest to hand off, because it's the highest leverage task you can remove from your personal plate and stop being the bottleneck in the process. Unfortunately, here is where most people stop. They finish the audit, they feel productive, they go hire someone. But that's the trap. Step 1, mapping the load, tells you what to delegate. It does not tell you how. It doesn't prepare your business to take on a new person. For that, you need step 2. Step 2 is documentation, but not the kind you're thinking of. So most solopreneurs, when they think about documenting, think about writing a list of steps in a Google Doc. That's not what this is. Extracting the code means turning what lives in your head, your experience, your judgment, your pattern recognition, into something someone else can execute without asking you questions, without guessing, without needing to think the way you think. Here's why this is hard. You've been running these processes for years, most likely. They feel obvious to you. Every shortcut, oh, I just know how to check this. It's completely invisible to anyone else. That invisible knowledge is what kills the first hire. So there's a 3-part extraction protocol. Part 1 is to record yourself doing the task once. And we're not talking perfect tutorial here. A raw screen recording or quite literally recording with your phone is good enough. Just capture the task happening in real time. Don't edit anything, just do the work while it's recording. Part 2 is to narrate every decision. This is the part most people skip. Don't just show the steps, explain the why behind each one. What are you watching for? What makes you pause and reconsider? What does a bad output look like at this stage? So this narration is where your expertise actually transfers. And part 3 is then to define the output standard. What does done correctly look like? Not vaguely, but specifically. If you hand this task to someone and they complete it, how do you know, without asking them, if it was done right? Define that standard clearly. Pass or fail, no gray area here. In your franchise OS, this is the extract the code phase. You're not writing a job description, you're writing the source code of a task. And here's the harsh truth about this that many people don't like to hear. If you cannot document the process, you cannot delegate the process, that's not a staffing problem, that's a clarity issue. And no hire, no matter how talented they are, can solve a clarity problem for you. If this video helps you gain some clarity, let me know by subscribing. This signals to YouTube to show it to more people, and it helps me understand if I'm giving you the right message and the right value. I appreciate that. Step 3 is where the system finally becomes hire ready. Standardizing the output means this. Your hire doesn't learn to think like you. They learn to produce what you produce. That's a critical distinction. So most solopreneurs want to train their first hire to develop the same judgment and experience they have. And that takes years. You don't have years. You need output consistency in days or weeks. The way you get there is not by teaching intuition. It's by engineering a process so clear that intuition is not even required. McDonald's didn't teach every franchise operator to cook. They engineered a process so consistent, so step-by-step specific that the cook doesn't even matter. The system produces the burger. That's what you're building. And here's what a standardized output package looks like for any delegated task. 1, a simple but clear checklist, not a vague list of responsibilities. A step-by-step checklist where every item has a yes or no completion state. Not, make sure it looks good, because that's an opinion. Write this instead. Image is 1280 by 720p saved as JPEG under 2 megabytes. That's a repeatable standard. 2, a completed example of the task done correctly. 1 real example is worth 10 pages of written instructions. Show them what right looks like. And 3, a list of the most common mistakes that happen with this task and how to catch them early before they reach the client. You've made these mistakes over time, so log them. Your hire doesn't need to repeat your learning curve. Now let's do a quick test. Just 1 question. It'll tell you in 30 seconds if you're actually ready to hire or if you just think you are. Here's the question. Can someone follow your process with no context, no ability to ask you questions, and produce output you'd be happy to send to a client? That's it. If the answer is yes, you're good to go. Your output is standardized and you have a system. If the answer is no, you have scattered knowledge and not a system. And what you're about to hand over to your first hire is not a job, it's a guessing game with your deliverables on the line. Here's the reframe to take out of this video. Hiring isn't about finding someone good enough to figure out your business. It's about building something clear enough to hand to them. The moment you flip that mental switch from I need to find the right person to I need to build the right system, your hiring success changes completely. Let me show you now where today's video fits into the full picture. The franchise OS has 6 phases. Step 1, map the load. Step 2, extract the code. Step 3, standardize the output. Step 4 is going to be the actual hire onboarding in the first 30 days. Step 5 will be quality control and output tracking after delegation. And step 6 is replicating the system for scalability. Today we covered the foundation. The next video covers what happens after the hire and why most solopreneurs get that phase equally wrong. If this gave you a usable framework, subscribe. I'm building out this entire operating system over the next few weeks, 1 phase per week. Every framework, every outcome, every template. And if you want to move to step 4 right now, how to actually onboard and hand off work to your first hire without losing control of output quality, watch this video right here.